Why would anyone travel to the United States for the FIFA World Cup? I'm seriously asking that question. Why would any international person travel right now to the United States for the FIFA World Cup when you're watching people getting detained and shot in the face for no reason? If you were a person of any color other than pure baby powder white, you are absolutely not safe. And we've even seen if you are baby powder white, you are still not safe. Why would you take a chance coming to a country where you could be detained, locked in prison, deported to God knows where because you came to watch a soccer game? Football, sorry. Because you came to watch a football game. Why would you come to the United States to do that? I really don't understand why. The made-up FIFA World Peace Prize that Donald Trump gave, and he immediately bombed another country and stole their leader. Like, this is not a safe place. The citizens of the United States don't want to be here. Please do not come to the United States of America for the FIFA World Cup if you are not from this country. Anyone who does not have to be here should not be here.
I'm hearing that the FIFA organization had to call in an emergency meeting because more than 16,000 fans have canceled their tickets. They're scuffling to try to sell tickets now. Baby, to those more than 16,000 fans, baby, y'all made the right decision. It is not worth coming to a country where you don't know if you're safe. You don't know if you're going to be on vacation and you end up getting round up by some ICE thugs because they are racist towards your skin color. So yeah, they made the right decision. Baby, I would cancel too. I'm from here and don't want to be here, let alone encouraging someone that is not from here to come here. Yeah, y'all made the right decision, and good luck, FIFA, because baby,
please do not come to the United States. We are not the same country we were 4 months ago. It is not safe here anymore. They can pull you off the street. They can detain you. They'll do God knows what to you. They're doing it to our own citizens. They will do it to you. Please do not support American products. Don't buy American. Don't vacation here. I'm very sorry to say this, and I want to apologize on behalf of all rational Americans in this country who are fighting Trump tooth and nail with everything we have. We're sorry. We're doing the best we can to get rid of this guy and all his crooked cronies, but we're having a very difficult time doing it. We handed him the keys. An ignorant populace handed him the keys to this kingdom, and we're finding it very difficult to even slow him down, frankly. I think America's done. I hate to say that, but I don't know how much we can do, what we can do to slow this guy down. We're trying very hard. Please don't support us anymore. And to my government, my friends in government all over the world who we dealt with in business and for so many years, you guys were so good to us all over the place. You know, France, Australia, the United Kingdom, of course, Canada, of course, Mexico, you know, Costa Rica, Panama, all over Asia. You know, you guys have been wonderful partners to us for years. I'm so sorry Trump is treating you like dirt. Don't expect anything better from him in the future. He's a tyrant. He wants to be a dictator, and frankly, he's turning into one very quickly. Again, we're having a hard time slowing him down. I'm sorry to say that. Please don't trust this guy. If you're working in government, he makes you a promise. His promise is worth nothing. I've known this guy for 30 years. His word is worthless. And that goes for all of his crooked cronies in our GOP that are supporting him. Do not trust this guy. Do not trust. The reason I'm telling you this right now, if you're wondering, is because I'm getting out to a couple million people on social media a week now. And he's going to shut me down. He's shutting friends of mine down. He's threatening my friends that have millions and millions of viewers on social media that are rational thinking people. He's threatening them within an inch of their life. He's going after them for taxes. He's going after them for any way he can. And I'm afraid it's going to continue. And I won't be able to say this, so I'm saying it now. Do not trust anything American at this point. We are not the same country. I don't know that we ever will be. Again, apologies from America. You guys have been so great to us, and we're so sorry.
America has an undercover police force that's authorized to shoot you in the face in broad daylight, lock you in a cage, or profile you for an even slightly foreign accent or appearance. And it's hosting the World Cup, a tournament that's supposed to represent global unity, while it's also actively invading, bombing, and threatening other countries that don't agree with it. It's disgraceful. Do not come to America for the World Cup.
Well, I think there is one very good reason to consider a boycott, and that is because I don't think travel to the United States is any longer safe for anyone, and it will not be safe.
I'll leave off, Peter. I live here now. I never felt more safe.
It will not be safe. It will not be safe for the players, the coaches, or the many fans and supporters, because ICE has snatched foreign citizens off the streets. It's detained them at airports for no good reason. It's even arrested and detained.
But they're not illegal migrants,
citizens.
Peter. They're Scottish football fans who are here on visas watching the footy.
What I'm trying to say is, given this lawlessness of ICE and the fact that completely innocent people are being snatched and held in detention, I don't think it's safe for footballers, coaches, managers and fans to go to the United States under these conditions.
What's up, family? How are you doing, brothers and sisters? I hope you're doing fine wherever you're tuning in from. Now, with all this that's going on in America, with all that we are currently experiencing in the US right now, the US is still set to host the 2026 World Cup, which will be held later on in this year. I think it should be there about mid this year. But as these preparations are underway, close to 20,000 people or close to 20,000 tickets have already been cancelled. 20,000 people have gone ahead and cancelled their tickets. Of course, they want to support their countries. Of course, they want to support their continents and their favorite teams. But the situation right now in US is not just favorable for them. At a time whereby Donald Trump is demeaning people from specific countries, people who are not white. You know, we have 9 African countries participating in this forthcoming World Cup. We have also Jamaica participating. We have South American teams, which Donald Trump has constantly gone after these Latino people. We have ICE raids going on right now, targeting anyone who's not white, and that has raised so many concerns. With thousands of people right now cancelling their tickets and saying that they will no longer be attending this World Cup. This has pushed FIFA, which is the federation responsible for this World Cup, to kind of want to cancel this World Cup. And right now they are doing so much scrutiny and weighing if at all they will have to postpone the World Cup and change the venue. But before we get into that, let's get to see what people have to say, because I have put together stitches for you. I've stitched together some videos that are really informative. Let's get to watch them, and then thereafter we'll come back, break it all down, and I'll also be giving my commentary and my sentiments. Without wasting any time, let's get straight to the video. And if at all you enjoy this kind of videos, then please like this video, support this channel by sharing the video, hyping the video, and most importantly, by subscribing to this channel.
Good day to every single one of you. Happy Sunday. I just want to let you know that I have made a decision about the World Cup in the USA. It is with a heavy heart that I have to tell you that I have cancelled my World Cup tickets to the World Cup taking place in the United States. The United States is not a safe country. It has not been an easy decision. I met with my cabinet and my family members, and we decided it is not safe to come to a country that feels like a third world country. In short, is now a fourth world country. I will urge every single human being on earth to do the same. Boycott the World Cup. The USA is not a safe country.
I think I speak for the entire world right now when I say America cannot hold the World Cup, bro. America cannot hold the World Cup. How are you trying to host the biggest sporting event in the entire world whilst kidnapping a president and his wife, bro. What's that about? What's that about? All in the name of oil. Imagine you're watching a football game. You're about to see a Messi hat-trick. You're about to see a Mbappe hat-trick or Ronaldo, whatever. And immediately you look up to the sky and it's flipping missiles. What's that about? I'm meant to feel safe. All in the name of oil. You kidnap a president and his wife. And you want me to go there? FIFA, reschedule that shit. Please, just bring it back to England, bro.
The next World Cup's being held in America, and nobody's making any noise about human rights when it comes to America holding the World Cup. And when you look at America's recent history, they've destroyed Iraq, destroyed Libya. If you're going to talk about human rights, you've got to start with the top and work it down. You can't just say...
Are you one of these people who says that if you start questioning host countries on their human rights records, the World Cup can only be held in somewhere like Sweden?
No, not at all. I'm someone that says if you want to talk about human rights, you've got to be consistent about it. Okay. You can't just point at Arabs and Africans and say, oh, your human rights are terrible, without having a look at ourselves and what we've been complicit in. That would be utter hypocrisy and, in fact, racist.
Not to be a hater, but I'm kind of excited and eager to watch the World Cup crumble because it's being hosted in the U.S. I don't know. I'm not hoping that it does, but based on the current state of America, there's just no way it's gonna go smoothly. But I'm intrigued enough to see it crumble for many reasons. Like, just for one, what did America think was gonna happen? Everyone in the world is watching ICE go and kidnapping people off the streets, shipping out human beings left and right, disappearing humans, sending thousands of troops to cities like the friggin' Hunger Games. I thought people around the world are gonna go, oh, that's cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and book this ticket for the World Cup. No, my guy. It's so funny because they're like, oh, this is gonna contribute millions of dollars to the US economy. Psych! I just now saw how like tens of thousands of people who already purchased tickets canceled their tickets within the past 48 hours because of what's happening in the US. I don't know, kind of vibey. I'm kind of feeling it. Because once it inevitably crumbles, and it most likely will, it'll be just the perfect example of America thinking it's so great and they can do anything as long as you believe in yourself, but then not have the resources and infrastructure and systems in place to make it work. The delusion of American exceptionalism at its best. And the second reason why I'm also kind of excited to watch it crumble is because when it was being hosted in the Arab world, in Qatar 4 years ago, every Western country, and within every Western country, every news outlet had so much to say about Qatar and question whether it was right to host it in a country like Qatar, in a Muslim country, in an Arab country. But now that it's in a Western country, and that said Western country is literally disappearing people, kidnapping people, and some of them are dying because of what's going on. And I haven't seen one Western news outlet say anything questioning whether it's right to continue with the World Cup in the US. But when it's an Arab and a Muslim country, no, we have to question everything. And what's funny is that World Cup, the Qatar one, from what I hear, and all my friends, I personally did not go, but all my friends in the Middle East went. And all I've heard was that it was the smoothest process from beginning to end. The booking of the flight, your visa into the country, your transportation from the airport to the games, to your actual event, your hotel, back to the airport, everything was smooth. And it was a very clean, streamlined process. Something that America could never do. America could never. I lived there for 33 years. They could never do that. Just the systems in America, in any and every sense, are just broken. Everything's broken. And for them to think they're gonna successfully be able to host hundreds of thousands, if not more than, or is it like millions, of attendees and tourists for the games?
There are reports coming out right now that nearly 25,000 fans have canceled their 2026 World Cup tickets for matches in the United States. And before anybody jumps in, yeah, the numbers are not completely confirmed by FIFA, but the reason people are canceling en masse matters. And I'm sure these numbers will continue to grow. Fans are saying the same thing over and over, that the US feels unsafe, obviously. because of the political climate, because of immigration enforcement, because we're living in what is giving totalitarian regime, because people are watching videos of ICE grabbing folks off the streets, of families disappearing into detention, of travelers being terrified they won't even make it out of the airport, of people being literally unalived by the Cheeto Puffs Gestapo. And people are asking a very reasonable question. Why would I spend thousands of dollars to visit the US that's openly treating immigrants like this? Why would I be supporting a fascist country? FIFA wants to pretend that it's politically neutral, but that argument collapses when their president is handing Donald Trump a made-up FIFA Peace Prize, praising him publicly and cozying up to this administration that's actively creating fear and harm. That is not neutrality. That is alignment. That is capitulation. That is bending the knee. And look, demand for the World Cup, let's not pretend it's not massive. Let's not pretend tickets aren't selling. This isn't about empty seats. This is about who feels safe enough to sit in them. Frankly, the US should not be hosting the World Cup or the Olympics. We got no business doing any of this. And I'm saying this as someone who's a huge sports fan. I love the Olympics. I love the World Cup. But what are we doing? If international fans, players, and workers are scared to come here, that's clearly a sign of human rights issues. But you're really not paying attention if you needed this to be your sign. Sports do not exist in a vacuum, and although things are very much giving totalitarian regime right now, I'm glad people are boycotting with their wallets. We may potentially see a pulling back in response to this, but to be honest, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen from this administration. We all know that a big goal is to avoid the midterms at this point. So the president of FIFA is going to see in real time that bending the knee and being so spineless and quite frankly so bitch-made was extremely fruitless. Until next time, y'all.
If you're a football fan and you were planning to go to the US for the World Cup, but you're disgusted with the killing of Renee Good and Keith Powers, and you're disturbed by the kidnapping and brutality of ICE towards people of color and suspects of illegal immigration, or you're disturbed by Trump's kidnapping of the Venezuelan president and his threats towards Greenland, today is your last day to cancel your World Cup tickets. The 13th, today, the 13th is the last day you can cancel. So if you want to boycott the US and make a stand, again, today is the last day you can cancel your World Cup tickets. I personally was never going to go to the US to watch the World Cup, but some of you might have, and this would be a great way to boycott. And this is a reminder for all of you in the UK, America doesn't like you. I've seen a lot of videos about this, but I just want to reiterate that Americans don't respect the British. They don't respect other European countries. So don't think that just because you're white, you're going to be protected going to the US. Just because you're white, ICE isn't going to come after you. And just because you're British or European, America might not commit a war crime against you or your country.
Well, the World Cup is in trouble. Nobody wants to come here. Ticket sales are down. They've actually had to lower the price of the tickets because they can't give them away at this point. They thought they were going to get thousands and thousands of dollars for tickets, and they may not even be able to get $100. We personally, my family, we have heard from our friends that are either in Europe or the UK, and there's no way that they would come to the United States right now. They can see just how dangerous it is, and they're not willing to bring their children to this country. And I don't blame them. They can see for themselves what's going on. They've actually watched the videos. They can see the protests. They can see what ICE agents are doing to people, and they're not in the cult. So they don't believe this spin that comes out of the White House and Kristi Noem. I mean, it's very clear to them that they are blatantly lying about what's in these videos and what ICE is actually doing, and that they are just grabbing people off the street and asking questions later. So I knew the World Cup wasn't going to be a good idea to have in the United States, and there you have it.
Welcome back to the video, because there you have it. The more I watch these videos, the more I agree to what these users are saying online, because we've seen raids that have been done specifically targeting a certain demographic of people in America. So I too wouldn't feel safe traveling all the way or just to go and probably get harassed, because we've also seen footages on social media of tourists being harassed in American airports. It's almost like if you're in America and you're not white, then you're automatically a suspect. You are guilty unless proven innocent. So I wouldn't even like to find myself in such a situation. And that's exactly what people out there are just trying to put across. And I think FIFA should do something as fast as possible, because this will be a failed World Cup if at all they'll not do anything. And come to think of it, they have put so many matches to be held in a country which cares not so much about football. Yeah, America cares not so much about football. The government does not, especially the government of the day. So this happening, I'll have to remind you that when the World Cup was being held in Qatar, the same people in government today were the same people who back then decided to kind of boycott that World Cup. They decided to cancel their tickets. They decided to kind of not stand with FIFA on their decision to hold those World Cup matches in Qatar, simply because they thought that Qatar was a backward country, was a Muslim country that was not vast or aligning with Western civilization. That's at least what they said back then. But the World Cup was held in Qatar successfully. People were hosted in Qatar successfully. And Qatar was thanked so much for its hospitality. But right now in America, the whole world expects the same people who criticized Qatar to do better. But look at what's going on, and it's just a few months to the World Cup. ICE raids all over. Latinos are crying they're being targeted. With the current capture of Maduro, Venezuelans are also crying the world is not safe. If at all such a powerful person, if at all a public figure with so much power and money can be captured in such a way, how about a regular tourist like you and I? Come to think of it, the government is doing specific things that they know, and the whole world is seeing and the whole world is watching. That's why this year's World Cup, or this year World Cup matches, may end up catastrophic, or the whole World Cup may end up as a failed project. And I think FIFA should do something as fast as possible, because all these people are raising concerns. Yes, America is a first world country, but is it secure enough to host Africans, to host more black people? The few black people that are there are being mistreated. The few black people that are there are not being treated the way they should be treated. They're being treated like second-class citizens. Now, how do you expect Africans to move all the way from Africa, go into the US for the sake of this World Cup? They don't feel safe. I mean, Qatar, with their so-called backward laws, they treated Africans way better than black people are being treated in America right now. So if at all US does not fix the kind of things that are going on in America, if at all it does not fix the kind of racism that's going on. Remember, in this forthcoming World Cup, people of color have majority of the teams. People who are not white have majority of the teams. White teams are just but a handful. We have 9 countries or 9 teams coming from Africa. We also have countries from the Caribbean, the likes of Jamaica, Congratulations to Jamaica, they qualified for this World Cup. And that aside, we have countries or teams from Asia. Talk about Japan, South Korea. All these are people of color. And all of these teams are claiming not to feel safe for the whole vibe around America. So I think the American government today should do something. They should strive to fix the bad rapport that they have with their citizens and the bad rapport that they have with the entire world at large. And failure to this, then FIFA must change some things. Either change the venue of the matches or even postpone that World Cup. Because with the current state of things, people of color are not guaranteed of their safety. And I think that should be a major requirement when looking for a country that should host this World Cup. The World Cup is a very global event that brings together people from very different places. And I believe it should do exactly that. But how does it bring people together in a country which does not focus on bringing people together, or in a country that is constantly violating people's rights, and specifically people of a certain demographic? So if I told the World Cup is to be held in America today, then this World Cup should probably be that of white people only, because people of color are not okay. People of color are being targeted. In fact, people of color are the ones canceling their tickets right now. You know, they're canceling their tickets in droves, and they are boycotting this World Cup. So if at all FIFA does not change a thing, then this World Cup will be successfully boycotted, because if at all we leave the whole World Cup to white America, for white America to support that World Cup, then most likely it will be a failure, because white America does not support football, or soccer as they call it, as much as the whole world. Mexicans love football. Not just Mexicans, Venezuelans love football. We have people from countries, Latin America, Brazil loves football so much. And when these kind of people are being targeted in America, then I don't think it will end well. Cubans love football and they'll be there to watch football, but right now they're being targeted in America. So I think it's high time America changes. Anyway, all that I'm saying are just but my own thoughts. Please let me know what your thoughts are concerning all this that's going on in the comment section. Let's have that conversation going. Let's keep talking about all these, and I'd be really glad to read your comments. Otherwise, having said that, I will just like to wish you a good time, and I hope to be seeing you in the next video. Until then, have a good time.